What is up, guys? It's your boy Nick Torius, back again with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about those first 10 minutes, right? Those first 10 minutes, you know, you're getting it in, you got it to your crib, you about to smash, you be like, all right, I'm getting into it. We getting into it, and then my bad, right? We all had that happen to us. I don't care what man you are, you've had this happen. So, like the video, comment below what you think about it. Subscribe if you're new. With that being said, let's get into it. Woo! Alright, so those first 10 minutes, right? You got to go to your crib, you chilling with her, you talk for 2 seconds, you ate your pizza, drink your wine, whatever, you smoke the blunt. Now it's time to get to the nitty-gritty, down and dirty, right? You got The Office playing, and you about to start stroking it inside of her, right? But then what happens? Oh man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's like it's like the inevitable, right? It's the inevitable that happens, because basically what happens is you just can't hold it, right? It's just so hard to hold it. It's hard as fuck, right? I don't care what man you are, holding that bitch is fucking annoying, right? It's not annoying, but it's hard, right? So what do? In my experience, what always worked for me is the 10 minutes, right? I call it the 10-minute rule. Basically, in the 10-minute rule, you just hold your nut, right? You just say to yourself, I'm not allowed to nut, right? You just put this rule on you. Like, you put this rule on yourself that says, in these first 10 minutes, I cannot nut, right? You just can't nut in those first 10 minutes, because it's always the first 10 minutes that people nut, right? Once you get to like 11, 12, like the longest it's ever taken me to get out of that whole like nut range, it's probably like 20 minutes, right? Like, I feel like 20 minutes was like the longest that I've ever taken, but yeah. It's always those first 10 minutes that you just want to nut. So as long as you can last those first 10 minutes, then you're golden, right? Like, you're just super chilling, and you're just like, all right, I can, because your dick kind of gets a little numb, right? At least in my experience, because there's been times that I fucked a girl, and I never, like, you know, I didn't even nut, right? And the thing is like, I didn't want, like, it's not like I didn't want to, like, obviously I want to nut, but I always tell myself, like, the first time I ever smashed girls, I usually try not to nut, right? There was only one time that I smashed this one girl, and I nutted real quick on purpose, just because I didn't want her to get like attached to me, because I wanted her to be like, damn, this nigga sucks at fucking, right? But I did it on purpose, because I didn't really like her. So other than that, I always try to go, like, I just, in my head, like, I'm trying to smash, but I'm not trying to nut, right? It's kind of like me, like, marking my territory, basically. Like, I try to mark my territory in the girl, because I've noticed that when you smash a girl and then you give her an orgasm, and then you're just like, all right, peace, right? And you don't even nut, and she's like, damn, this dude just smashed me, but he didn't nut. Like, I remember I had this one girl go like head over heels. Like, she told me, oh, I see you as an 8, right? And she wasn't really like on top of me like that. Like, she was just like whatever about me. She was like yada yada yada. But then I came over and we smashed, and then I made her nut, like, I think like twice, right? I made her nut like twice, and I didn't even nut. And then she's like, damn, you don't. She's like, I feel bad giving you blue balls. And I'm like, oh, I don't give a fuck, like, because I just wanted to smash, right? Like, I don't care about, because at that point in my life, I was just trying to raise my body count. So like I didn't give a fuck about the sex. I just wanted to have sex, right? So I was just focused on that. So it was easy for me to just like not really care about nutting. I just wanted to, like, you know, another notch in my belt. So, but then I noticed that she was just like, you know, after that, she like FaceTimed me like right away, right? She's just like, oh, I miss you. Oh, what are you doing? And it's like, bitch, I just left your crib, right? You already, you know, and she get dickmatized, you feel me? She, you know, she like, the dick was good. So, you know, I didn't even nut. And I noticed that every time that I don't nut the first time and just like let them orgasm, it always works out in that I see them more times, right? Like, they just always like, I don't know, because then they're like, why didn't he nut? That's weird, right? Because it makes you kind of like different, right? It makes you different than other dudes, because other dudes, they'll smash, and if they don't, they're gonna get their nut, right? They're gonna just get their nut. But if you're just there and you're just smashing and you're like, all right, thanks, bye, but you didn't, it's like you didn't get nothing from it, right? But the thing is, it's like, for me, I did get something, right? It was more like a confidence thing, right? It was more to like raise my confidence. So what I was looking for was like to raise my confidence. So and it's crazy too, because it's like when you nut in the girl, that also makes you like bond with her and attach with her, right? And it's an easy way to lose that attachment. Because I noticed how when I did nut in her, like later on, I became attached to her, right? And I bonded with her, and then I ended up getting I ended up getting played, I guess. And that shit hurt. So I was just like, damn, like it didn't hurt. Like I wasn't really attached to her when I smashed her, right? It wasn't until I nutted in her that I was like, okay, yeah. Because not every time I nutted in a girl, because I always pull out, right? But every time that I nut in a girl, not really. It's only when they're really pretty. Like when they're really pretty, that's when I get attached. But if they're just like mid, then I'll be like, yeah, I nut and then it's whatever. Unless I'm trying to like, sometimes I'm just trying to like smash in. But whatever. The first 10 minutes, right? The 10-minute rule. Try to go the 10 minutes, right? Because even with that girl that I didn't nut, it was still hard. Like once I put it in, yeah, it's crazy. Once I put it in, that's when like I put it in and I wanted to nut, right? I was like, fuck, this feels so good. I'm trying to nut. Might nut in you right now. Like I was trying hard to hold it in, but then like after 10 minutes, you just get used to it, right? You just get used to not nutting, and you're just like, all right, I can keep going, right? And also your physical fitness, I feel like has a lot to do with it, because I used to do a lot of Kegels, right? Like I still do Kegels, like those Kegel exercises, where you just like put awareness. It's basically just putting your awareness in your balls, right? Or in your penis. You basically just clench your penis and you just like work out those muscles, right? You're just working out the whatever muscles. Like no one sees you doing it, but a lot of times I'll just be like, putting my awareness and just like counting and like contracting my urethra, I guess. And I don't know if it might have worked. I don't know, but I noticed that it's a lot easier. Like. Also, another thing is your breath, right? Because I feel like what makes most dudes nut fast is what they're thinking about, right? Like because before when I would have sex with my ex, right? No, actually, I remember the first time I lost my virginity, right? The first time I lost my virginity, the last time I lost my virginity, I remember because I was kind of, I feel like I lost it at like old age, right? But the thing is now I don't, because there's dudes that are my age that are virgins, and I couldn't imagine a life like that, right? So when I lost my virginity, I remember I was just thinking like, damn, I'm finally having sex, like, because the thing is before I would get my dick sucked, I would like eat pussy out and finger girls and shit, do all that shit, right? But I never had like penetration before that, right? So to me, like having sex was just like, damn, I'm actually having sex. Because all my life I always thought sex was like the hardest thing to get. For some reason I always figured that having sex with a girl was like really hard. It was always like far away. It was like this thing that was like unattainable, right? I always felt like that. But then when I first started having sex, and I was just like, damn, I'm having sex. Like me. I also have very low self-esteem, so I was just like, I'm too ugly to have sex, is what I used to think, right? So I'm just like, oh, I'm finally having sex. So in my head, that shit was fucking me up, right? That shit was fucking me up for real, on God, because I was thinking like, oh damn. And then guess what happens? Right? That's what happens, because you're just like, damn, this is finally happening, because you get stuck in your head, right? Because what happens, that's why dudes want to masturbate all the time, right? Dudes always want to masturbate all the time because they want to be up here, right? All their breath, when they're breathing, they just stay up in their heads, and they're just thinking shit. And then what happens is that their body, like their nuts and their dicks, their penis is neglected, right? basically they're neglecting their dicks. So all their breath is going into their head, and they're not coming into their penis, right? So what happens is that the dick is like, oh, I need some attention. Hey, can you give me some attention, please? So the only attention that they get is masturbation. So they're like, all right, bet. So that's why all these dudes be having problems, because they're just stuck in their head. They're not in the flow of the life, and they're not in their bodies, so they're not able to pay attention to their dicks, right? They're not paying attention to their dicks. I was gonna make this video 10 minutes, but fuck it, because I got more things to say. They're basically not paying attention to their dicks. So what happens is their dicks feel neglected. So they're like, the only way that they can pay attention to the dick is to send messages to the brain, say like, hey, guess what? I'm a little horny right now, bro. I want to be touched. I want to be paid attention to. I want some air. Give me some air. I can't breathe. So dudes' dicks be shriveled up because they don't have no air, right? So that's why Elliot Hole says breathe into your balls, right? He says breathe into your balls because your balls have no breath, so they shrivel up. They can't breathe. Like, that's what happens to your lungs when you can't breathe. You can, you know, you're just all fucked up, right? So the only way that your balls have any stimulation is to nut and to masturbate. So same thing happens in sex, right? When you're having sex, you're not having no type of stimulation in your balls because you're up in your mind. So your balls is like, oh my God, attention from a vagina, right? And it's just like going crazy in ecstasy because it's like, this never happens, right? Like someone is giving attention to your balls, right? And it's this woman. And so, you know, then that's when you get addicted to her, because then you're like, oh shit, she's giving me attention to here, this place that I never get attention to, right? So that's just what happens. But yeah, just because I remember, I heard this dude, Bruno, right? Bruno Dickums, he's a porn star. And I heard him say one time, he's like, oh, the best way to hold your nut is to breathe into your belly. That's what he says. He's like, oh, I just breathe into my belly, right? And no homo. It's so weird because I've hung out with this dude a couple. I haven't hung out with him, but I've been around him like a couple times, right? Like, I've been around dude a couple times, and it's weird because I've seen his wiener, right? But like, just in like videos and shit, and I feel like that's so weird. Like, meeting male porn stars is the weirdest thing ever. But I'm not gonna lie, like, no homo on God. Nah, I'm not gonna say it. That's gay. That's gay as fuck. Oh, come on, man, bitch. But yeah, I feel like the more you breathe, because the thing is, when you neglect your dick, I feel like that's why dudes got little dicks, because they just neglect their dick. And that's why they say big dick energy. It's called big dick energy because you're neglecting your dick, right? And when you put air into your dick, like when you're breathing into your stomach, I feel like your dick gets bigger, right? I feel like that's the secret to having a big dick. You just breathe into your dick, and then it gets bigger. It's like imagine a hot air balloon, right? No, like a balloon, a wiener dog balloon, right? When you, it inflates, right? It's the same shit. So I feel like when you're breathing like that, your dick gets bigger. So that's all you gotta do really, is just pay attention to that and make your, you know, just pay attention to your breathing. If anything, like, when you're paying attention, like, it's like running, right? If you're the best way to get good at sex is to run, right? If you run a lot, then you understand that what happens is you are running, and guess what? When you're running, you're out of breath, and you're just like, fuck, this hurts. All your body hurts, and the only thing you want to do is stop and give up. But guess what happens when you don't give up? You're able to run more and finish what you started, right? So when you finish what you started, it's because you're just breathing, and then, you know, when you're breathing, you kind of ignore all the pain, right? It's just like when you're getting a tattoo. When you're getting a tattoo, you got to breathe through it, because when you breathe through it, then you don't feel the pain really, because you just focus on your breathing, and breathing feels good. It feels good to breathe. So yeah, with that being said, like the video, comment below what you guys think. Just comment what's the best method to holding your dick. Not holding your dick. To holding your nutting, right? Comment the best method that you've had, any experiences that you've had, like where you just nutted real quick, or like, you know, you just like went hours and hours and hours, right? Just comment that shit. If you have any questions, I'll answer in another video. Just ask me on a DM at Torius as his fit interviews, and subscribe if you're new. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.